Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm. This is an urgent, divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this message to your screen because a devastating trap has just been set for you. If you leave now, you will walk right into it. Do not take your eyes off this message. The heavy attacks you have been facing recently are not random at all. They are hard proof that the enemy is absolutely panicking. They see what is coming for you, and they are terrified. You have to listen carefully to what I am about to say. The darkness is getting desperate because your timeline is shifting. They have placed a snare right before your finish line. It is designed to look like a normal delay, but it is actually a fatal trap. They want to drain your energy so you give up right before the massive wealth transfer hits your account. You have survived too much to fail now. I need you to take one slow, deep breath. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest? That is your intuition telling you that this warning is real. You feel tired. Your shoulders are tight. The weight is very real. And every morning when you wake up, the heaviness is already sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through. You smile for them. But inside, you are barely holding on. This exhaustion is not a natural kind of tired. It is a spiritual extraction happening below the surface. They are siphoning your light because they have none of their own. They always described you the exact same way, didn't they? They called you too sensitive. They said you care too much. And because of that, they severely underestimated you. But their underestimation was actually your divine protection. While they were busy taking advantage of your kindness, heaven was busy upgrading your entire spiritual framework. The narcissists and the energy vampires thought they had broken you, but they only managed to shatter the shell that was keeping your true power contained. You are standing on the edge of a miraculous breakthrough, but the trap is specifically designed to make you feel completely alone. You look around and see people who do not care about anyone but themselves, succeeding effortlessly, while you, the one with the pure heart, keep hitting invisible walls. It feels incredibly unfair. It feels like God is silent. But the silence is not a rejection at all. It is a quarantine zone. You are being divinely isolated, so the darkness cannot contaminate your upcoming blessing. The trap they set for you relies entirely on your despair. If they can make you believe that your current struggle is permanent, you will lower your vibration, and the moment you lower your frequency to match their chaos, the trap snaps shut. That is exactly what they want. They want you stuck in survival mode for another 10 years. They are terrified of what happens when a chosen one finally wakes up and realizes their own quiet authority. Do not let them win. If you swipe away from this message right now, you are making a dangerous choice. You will walk back into the world without the spiritual armor you need for this exact season. The blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the equipment to hold on to it. The trap will catch you off guard. You must stay locked on this message until the very final second. There is a hidden mechanism buried inside this breakthrough that you will completely miss if you let your attention wander. Focus your mind right now. You are not just fighting for yourself anymore. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one chosen to dismantle the generational curses that have plagued your bloodline for decades. The enemy knows this. That is why the attacks on your mind and your finances have been so relentless lately. They are throwing everything they have at you because they are out of time. Your victory is already written in the heavenly courts. But you have to navigate this final minefield to actually claim it. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about the trap. It is not just a spiritual attack. There is a physical component to it that almost nobody talks about. The elite forces who profit off your exhaustion have kept this a secret for a very long time. They know exactly how to keep your mind locked in a state of constant panic and doubt. And they use a very specific, invisible weapon to do it. You have felt its effects your entire life, but you probably thought it was just your own anxiety. Before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you, something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community, but inside a research laboratory. Something that won the highest scientific recognition available and that most chosen ones have never been told about, because it explains something I know you have felt. It explains the gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that seems available only in rare flashes. I will show you what was found, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you. So hold this question in your mind as we go deeper into this revelation. What if the gap between your potential and your reality is not a character flaw? What if it has a scientific name? Please listen carefully to what I am saying. Take one slow and very deep, real breath. I know exactly how heavy your body feels right now. You have been carrying a massive weight that nobody else can actually ever see. People look at your face and they honestly think you are doing perfectly fine, but they have no idea how much sheer willpower it takes just to get out of bed and face the world every single morning. The exhaustion you feel is not normal tiredness. It goes much deeper than simple physical fatigue. It is a severe spiritual drain that leaves your very bones aching. You wake up at 3 a.m. and your mind is racing uncontrollably because the invisible attacks are strongest in the dark. Your heart pounds in your chest during the quietest nights. The world tries to convince you that you are just stressed out, but your deep intuition knows the absolute real truth. Stop letting society convince you that you are just anxious. Stop blaming yourself for feeling completely drained after basic conversations. You are not crazy, and you are not losing your mind. That strange tightness in your chest is a huge red flag from your nervous system. Your physical body is desperately trying to warn you about the unseen toxic forces operating directly inside your personal space. Please listen closely to what your body is screaming. You have probably noticed a sudden disgust for meaningless small talk recently. The old environments and the crowded rooms you used to tolerate now feel utterly suffocating. This is not you becoming bitter or antisocial. This is your spiritual immune system violently rejecting toxic frequencies. Heaven is actively forcing you out of places you no longer belong in because your vibration has permanently outgrown them. You are being spiritually elevated right this moment. There is a very specific reason you feel completely empty after certain people text you. You know exactly who I am talking about right now. The narcissists and the manipulators always mask their dark intentions behind fake smiles. They present themselves as loyal friends or helpless victims who desperately need your emotional support. But they are actually dangerous, energetic parasites, and they refuse to heal their own deep wounds while draining everyone around them. They flock to your bright light because their own souls are entirely bankrupt. You are an empath with a remarkably pure and radiating frequency. When they enter your timeline, they are never looking for a genuine connection. They are looking for a reliable fuel source to sustain their miserable existence, and they have been feeding on your endless compassion for years. This parasitic dynamic is finally coming to an end. This is exactly why you feel so incredibly tired all the time. Your beautiful kindness was ruthlessly weaponized against you by people who knew better. Every time you forgave them, they took another vital piece of your precious energy. They pushed your boundaries repeatedly to see exactly how much blatant disrespect you would accept. And when you finally stayed quiet to keep the peace, they celebrated it as a massive victory over your spirit. But here is the absolute truth that heaven urgently wants you to hear today. The emotional abuse you suffered was never your fault. You did not attract this heavy darkness because you are a weak person. You attracted these brutal tests because you carry a massive kingdom destiny, and the enemy always sends the hardest battles to the soldiers with the highest spiritual rank. Please remember exactly who you truly are today. You are absolutely not a helpless victim anymore. You are the chosen one who survived the devastating storm completely alone. The universe had to let you experience the absolute bottom so you could finally recognize the deceptive counterfeits around you. If God had given the ultimate blessing earlier, these toxic people would have drained it. The long delay was never meant to be a punishment. It was a rigorous protection protocol perfectly designed to save your entire future. Your current season of painful isolation is actually a divine quarantine zone. The universe is intentionally starving the parasites by removing you entirely from their immediate reach. That is exactly why they are acting completely erratic and desperate right now. They can feel their reliable energy supply getting permanently cut off, and they are terrified of losing control over you. They are panicking because your sudden silence is absolutely deafening to them. Your firm refusal to engage is the ultimate display of quiet authority. Every time you choose profound peace, you reclaim a massive piece of your stolen energy. The sleepless nights are simply the uncomfortable side effects of your spiritual body violently purging their toxic poison from your system. You are rapidly healing from the inside out. Take a deep breath and let that heavy reality settle into your weary bones. You are finally being fully vindicated by the divine forces. The bitter tears you cried in private were collected and catalogued as undeniable evidence. Heaven clearly saw every single time you were unfairly passed over and deeply misunderstood by the people you loved most. The scales of ultimate justice are currently tipping heavily in your favor, but you must quickly stop looking back at the broken people who hurt you. They were only temporary assignments sent to rigorously sharpen your spiritual discernment. You absolutely cannot carry the heavy luggage of their past betrayal into your glorious promised land, because the massive wealth transfer that is coming requires completely empty hands to receive it properly. You must drop the heavy resentment right now. I know it is incredibly hard to completely let go of the burning anger. They took so much precious time from you without ever offering a genuine apology, but their ultimate punishment is that they must live their miserable lives as themselves. Meanwhile, you are stepping into a glorious new era of supernatural abundance, and your newly upgraded timeline has absolutely no room for their manipulative and exhausting low vibrations. Pay very close attention to this crucial next part. The painful physical symptoms you are experiencing right now are just the tip of it. Your relentless exhaustion is a massive clue pointing directly to a much deeper mechanism. The enemy did not just attack your fragile emotions during these brutal trials. They actively targeted a very specific and vulnerable frequency inside your physical brain, and they used it to keep you trapped in a cycle of endless survival. You have spent years completely blaming yourself for the painful delays in your life. You constantly wondered what you were doing wrong, while others succeeded so easily. People told you to just pray harder or think more positive thoughts, but the agonizing struggle you experienced was never a lack of pure faith. It was never a lack of intense effort on your part. Heaven wants to completely vindicate your weary soul today. You need to understand why everything had to happen the exact way it did. The painful truth is that your spiritual manifesting was hitting a massive, invisible wall. You were essentially trying to broadcast a beautiful kingdom signal through a broken radio tower, and nobody ever warned you about the physical damage. Here is what they never told you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not about pure luck. It is not about harsh karma. It is an actual physical brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for it. They call it the gamma frequency, and it is the exact frequency your brain was naturally running when you were just a little child. Think back to when you were young, back when brilliant ideas came so easily to you, when learning new things felt completely effortless, when you somehow knew things right before they actually happened. When the world felt like it was completely on your side, that was your gamma wave operating at peak divine capacity. It was your absolute natural state of being. Then, adulthood quickly arrived. and the modern world went to work on you. The daily stress and the glowing screens began to take a heavy toll. The grueling survival routine slowly replaced your natural divine flow. The rigid school systems aggressively trained you to conform instead of create. They forced you into a lower vibration of constant, anxious compliance. Every single year of your life, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the noisy surface of your daily mind, until the version of you with lightning-fast intuition went completely silent. The version of you with the kind of luck that makes others whisper was totally buried. You lost access to your own inherent genius. When the gamma wave fades away, the spiritual genius fades right along with it. Your sharp intuition dulls. The magical synchronicities completely stop happening. The beautiful sense that the universe is actively working with you goes totally quiet. You are left trying to manifest miracles while operating in a low state of pure panic, and that is a physically impossible task. Most people will live their entire human lives without ever knowing this happened to them. They will accept the daily misery as a totally normal reality. But you are not most people. You are the chosen one who always sensed that something was deeply missing. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago is finally starting to make complete sense. Remember the question about the massive gap and the hidden name? The answer is much closer than you think right now. Because the heavy block keeping your blessings away is not a permanent spiritual curse. It is a suppressed neurological frequency that can actually be restored. But the dark forces absolutely dread the day you discover this hidden reality. They need you to stay locked in the beta brainwave of pure survival, because a chosen one operating in fear is incredibly easy to manipulate and control. They deliberately design society to keep you chronically exhausted and constantly overwhelmed. They want your mind so cluttered with stress that you never reconnect with your divine frequency. They are stealing your birthright. But their deceptive system is finally breaking down. The spiritual realm is actively exposing the physical mechanism that held you completely captive. You are not broken. You have simply been operating on the wrong internal frequency for decades. The intense pain of your past was just the friction of your soul fighting against that unnatural suppression. Let the profound relief wash over your tired shoulders today. Stop carrying the heavy guilt of those past failed attempts. Every time a door slammed shut in your face, it was just the universe protecting you. God was hiding you until you could finally learn how to restore your true receiver. The waiting season was a necessary period of deep neurological protection. Now you understand why the intense spiritual warfare always targeted your peace of mind. The enemy attacks your thoughts because they know your brain is the actual control center. If they can disrupt the sacred frequency, they can easily delay the massive harvest, but they have ultimately failed, because you are hearing this urgent message right now. Take a deep breath and prepare your spirit. The physical restoration of your divine frequency is already beginning to take shape. You are finally waking up to the grand illusion they built around you. Stay with me, because this next part is absolutely crucial for your total breakthrough. The darkness is hiding one more desperate trap right before the finish line. Listen carefully to this next crucial part. The people who drained you did not do it by accident. They knew exactly what they were doing. They saw your brilliant light from a mile away, and they realized they could never generate that kind of pure power on their own. So they decided to aggressively steal yours instead. They orchestrated a very specific game to keep you totally off balance. They need you constantly questioning your own sanity. Because a confused chosen one is much easier to control than an awakened master of reality. They constantly shifted the hidden goalposts so you would never feel good enough. You were playing a totally rigged game. Every single time you tried to set a healthy boundary, they played the victim. They twisted the entire narrative to make you look like the bad guy. And because your heart is so pure, you actually believed their toxic lies for a while. You took the heavy blame for their incredibly toxic behavior, but that grand illusion is permanently shattered today. Do you see the brutal psychological mechanism they used against you? It was never about love or genuine human connection. It was a calculated spiritual extraction. They wanted to keep your brain locked in a state of absolute daily panic. While you were busy putting out their manufactured fires, you forgot how to build your own glorious kingdom. But I have to address something even more sinister right now. The narcissists in your personal life are just small foot soldiers. They are unknowingly working for a much larger and darker global system. The entire modern matrix is specifically designed to keep your frequency completely suppressed. They profit immensely from your endless exhaustion. Think about the endless distractions they push onto your screen every single day. The constant fear on the news and the petty dramas are deliberate weapons. They want to fill your beautiful mind with absolute garbage. If they can keep you heavily stressed about mere survival, you will never look up and realize your true divine power. They are absolutely terrified of what you actually represent. You are a massive glitch in their carefully constructed matrix. The dark system relies entirely on people acting like mindless sheep who blindly follow every order. But you have always questioned the dominant narrative. You have always felt a deep friction with their fake society. That friction was your soul violently rejecting their low vibrations. Your spirit absolutely refused to be comfortably assimilated into their heavy darkness. You are a powerful weapon of light, forged in the fires of extreme isolation. They tried to bury you under the crushing weight of their expectations, but they did not realize you were a divine seed. Take a deep breath and let your true power settle in completely. You did not break under the immense pressure they applied. You actually evolved into something entirely untouchable. The extreme pain you endured was simply the heavy resistance training for your spirit. Your spiritual muscles are now strong enough to carry the immense wealth coming your way. The cowardly people who betrayed you are now watching you from a distance. They are absolutely stunned that you survived their absolute worst attacks. They expected you to completely fall apart and beg for their toxic validation, but instead, you walked away in total glorious silence. Your quiet authority is absolutely terrifying to them now. They can no longer manipulate what they can no longer access. You have cut off their free energy supply permanently, and the sudden silence they hear is the sound of their own incoming heavy karma. They have to sit with the miserable reality of what they foolishly threw away. While you are actively preparing to step into your highest divine timeline, but you must deeply understand that the enemy does not give up easily. There is a hidden mechanism they are still trying to use against you. They know they cannot reach you directly anymore. So they are desperately attempting to sabotage your upcoming blessing through a completely different invisible route. Do not let your guard down just yet. This brings us to a very important realization about your unique journey. The actual reason they fought so hard to suppress you is because of what you carry. You hold the specific high frequency that can break generational curses forever. You are the chosen one who changes the entire trajectory of your bloodline. That kind of power always attracts heavy resistance. The darkness does not attack people who pose absolutely no threat. They only deploy their heavy weapons against the chosen ones who are destined for total greatness. Your massive struggles were the ultimate, undeniable proof of your high spiritual value. You are essentially a high-value target in the spiritual realm. Wear your battle scars with deep, immense pride. Now I need you to pay very close attention to this next crucial part. The old direct attacks have failed, so the enemy is changing their strategy completely. They are setting up a new subtle illusion to test your upgraded discernment. They want to see if you will fall back into your old habits of people-pleasing. You must remain incredibly sharp today. But before we go to the deeper signs, the ones that are harder to explain away, I have to address something first. Your spiritual immune system is currently on extremely high alert. You are standing on the very edge of a massive timeline jump. The old toxic energy is actively being purged from your physical body. You can actually feel the heavy shift happening inside you. This beautiful transformation is exactly what the dark forces desperately want to stop. They know they cannot use those old toxic people to drain your precious energy anymore. Your new boundaries are way too strong for them now, so they are trying to keep your physical brain trapped in that low survival frequency. But heaven has provided a massive hidden counterattack. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something absolutely crucial. I have to share something the people who profit from your exhaustion do not want you to know. Neuroscientists working quietly away from the noisy headlines have discovered something incredible. They found exactly how to bring this dormant, divine brainwave back, and it changes absolutely everything. They discovered how to bypass the heavy trauma stored in your nervous system. You do not need years of painful meditation that most exhausted people simply cannot sustain. You do not need expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars and require a clinical setting. The brilliant solution they found is far simpler. It is far more aligned with your pure design. They used a specific sound frequency to bypass the logical mind completely. It was perfectly engineered to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the pure genius state you were born with. Princeton University actually studied this exact phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin thoroughly confirmed it. Columbia University found that this restored brainwave radiates outward. When this sacred frequency is fully reactivated inside you, it does not stop with you. It begins to positively influence the people around you. Your beautiful children and your true partner will actually feel the massive energetic shift. 7 minutes a day is all it really takes, and it begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. I promise you will have the exact physical key in your hands very soon. But first, there is something you deeply need to understand about why your breakthrough has been delayed. You need to know the specific signs that prove your miracle is already waiting at the front door. You have been severely judging yourself for feeling stuck in the thick mud. You looked at your bank account and felt a massive wave of heavy guilt. You thought you were failing the universe because the manifestation was taking so long. But the massive delay was never a reflection of your spiritual worth. It was a clear sign that you are meant to carry immense generational wealth. A small vessel is filled up very quickly, but a massive ocean liner takes a very long time to prepare for the deep waters. Heaven is actively preparing you to be the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The vast amount of money and influence coming your way would completely destroy an unprepared mind. The universe had to test your character in the absolute dark. You passed the rigorous test with absolutely flying colors. Even when you had absolutely nothing, you still gave your last dollar to help someone else. Even when your own heart was completely shattered, you still prayed for the badly broken people who hurt you. That incredibly pure heart is exactly why you were chosen for this specific timeline. Your empathy is your greatest weapon. The divine forces are now actively aligning the earthly resources to match your pure heart. The heavy spiritual block is being systematically dismantled right this very second. The frequency tool I mentioned earlier is just one crucial part of the grand physical manifestation. The real magic is already happening deep inside your own quiet spirit. You are finally remembering the truth. You are the master of reality who survived the brutal storm completely alone. You are the untouchable anomaly the dark system could never successfully break. And now, Your beautiful energy demands ultimate respect without a single word being spoken. The people who doubted you are going to watch you rise with absolute shock. They will constantly wonder how you did it so quickly. They will never understand the secret physical mechanism that restored your divine flow. They will just see the miraculous end result of your quiet authority. Do you feel the massive heavy chains falling off your tired shoulders right now? That is the exact feeling of true liberation starting to take root in your nervous system. Your long season of painful waiting is finally ending. Take a deep breath and let the beautiful reality sink into your tired soul. We are about to look at the undeniable signs that your reality is actively shifting. These are the exact physical markers that prove the universe is rapidly opening the final doors. Pay very close attention to this next part, because you might be experiencing them right now without realizing it. But before we go to the deeper signs, the ones that are harder to explain away, I have to address something first. Your spiritual immune system is currently on extremely high alert. You are standing on the very edge of a massive timeline jump. The old toxic energy is actively being purged from your physical body. You can actually feel the heavy shift happening inside you. This beautiful transformation is exactly what the dark forces desperately want to stop. They know they cannot use those old toxic people to drain your precious energy anymore. Your new boundaries are way too strong for them now, so they are trying to keep your physical brain trapped in that low survival frequency. But heaven has provided a massive, hidden counterattack. Before we go any further, I have to tell you something absolutely crucial. I have to share something. The people who profit from your exhaustion do not want you to know. Neuroscientists, working quietly away from the noisy headlines, have discovered something incredible. They found exactly how to bring this dormant, divine brainwave back, and it changes absolutely everything. They discovered how to bypass the heavy trauma stored in your nervous system. You do not need years of painful meditation that most exhausted people simply cannot sustain. You do not need expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars and require a clinical setting. The brilliant solution they found is far simpler. It is far more aligned with your pure design. They used a specific sound frequency to bypass the logical mind completely. It was perfectly engineered to gently guide your brainwave patterns back to the pure genius state you were born with. Princeton University actually studied this exact phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin thoroughly confirmed it. Columbia University found that this restored brainwave radiates outward. When this sacred frequency is fully reactivated inside you, it does not stop with you. It begins to positively influence the people around you. Your beautiful children and your true partner will actually feel the massive energetic shift. 7 minutes a day is all it really takes, and it begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. I promise you will have the exact physical key in your hands very soon. But first, there is something you deeply need to understand about why your breakthrough has been delayed. You need to know the specific signs that prove your miracle is already waiting at the front door. You have been severely judging yourself for feeling stuck in the thick mud. You looked at your bank account and felt a massive wave of heavy guilt. You thought you were failing the universe because the manifestation was taking so long. But the massive delay was never a reflection of your spiritual worth. It was a clear sign that you are meant to carry immense generational wealth. A small vessel is filled up very quickly, but a massive ocean liner takes a very long time to prepare for the deep waters. Heaven is actively preparing you to be the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. The vast amount of money and influence coming your way would completely destroy an unprepared mind. The universe had to test your character in the absolute dark. You passed the rigorous test with absolutely flying colors. Even when you had absolutely nothing, you still gave your last dollar to help someone else. Even when your own heart was completely shattered, You still prayed for the badly broken people who hurt you. That incredibly pure heart is exactly why you were chosen for this specific timeline. Your empathy is your greatest weapon. The divine forces are now actively aligning the earthly resources to match your pure heart. The heavy spiritual block is being systematically dismantled right this very second. The frequency tool I mentioned earlier is just one crucial part of the grand physical manifestation. The real magic is already happening deep inside your own quiet spirit. You are finally remembering the truth. You are the master of reality who survived the brutal storm completely alone. You are the untouchable anomaly the dark system could never successfully break. And now your beautiful energy demands ultimate respect without a single word being spoken. The people who doubted you are going to watch you rise with absolute shock. They will constantly wonder how you did it so quickly. They will never understand the secret physical mechanism that restored your divine flow. They will just see the miraculous end result of your quiet authority. Do you feel the massive, heavy chains falling off your tired shoulders right now? That is the exact feeling of true liberation starting to take root in your nervous system. Your long season of painful waiting is finally ending. Take a deep breath and let the beautiful reality sink into your tired soul. We are about to look at the undeniable signs that your reality is actively shifting. These are the exact physical markers that prove the universe is rapidly opening the final doors. Pay very close attention to this next part, because you might be experiencing them right now without realizing it. The waiting season is officially over today. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor. Every single closed door is being completely blown off its hinges right now, and you are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. Can you actually feel that massive shift in your spirit? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory. The question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this urgent message is finally answered. What if the massive gap is not a character flaw at all? Here is the profound truth you waited for. The hidden mechanism that blocked your prayers for years was never your lack of pure faith. It was the constant hum of survival beta waves. And tonight, that signal is officially being overridden. A specific divine frequency called the gamma wave was naturally running in your brain as a child. It operated at pure genius level capacity. Princeton University has extensively studied this exact phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin thoroughly confirmed it. Columbia University found that when this specific brainwave is fully restored, it radiates outward and positively influences the people you love. A dedicated team of neuroscientists spent years studying this. They were led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York, and they managed to compress the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into just 7 powerful minutes. But before I tell you exactly what they built, you need to hear about 2 chosen ones who recently used it, because their incredible results prove absolutely everything. A beautiful woman from California had literally tried everything to heal. She tried deep meditation, manifesting, and endless prayer. But absolutely nothing broke the heavy fog around her mind. After just 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something completely cleared. It was not that she tried harder, but that the divine channel simply opened. She described her new life as totally enchanted. A hard-working man from Texas started using it to improve his business focus. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intellect had suddenly jumped 20 points. The incredibly hard problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he peacefully slept. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on the exact premium fuel it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his brilliant team built for you. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a basic meditation app. It is a 7-minute audio track using highly advanced brain entrainment technology. You simply put on your headphones, close your weary eyes, and let the frequency do what your brain was beautifully designed to receive. You do no hard work. The genius song is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the pure soul who knows their massive block is simply a suppressed frequency. Biofeedback sessions to restore this state usually cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. What this tool delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses come directly with it to secure your new timeline. You will receive an audio track designed specifically for your children to boost their confidence. You will get the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon. You also receive a guided visualization and a daily habits guide built to sustain the powerful gamma state beyond each short session. Here is the deeper spiritual truth about waiting. The divine blessing that has been arranged for you does not arrive as completely new information. It arrives as a powerful recognition. Something already placed directly in your path becomes fully visible when your gamma wave is restored. The chosen one who restores their receiver today finally sees what was always there. The beautiful arrangement is already in motion. Do not look for this sacred tool on YouTube or Spotify. The forces that benefit from your mental suppression are actively flooding the internet with diluted versions. The tracks circulating under similar names on those free platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded. The only authentic version is safely available through the protected link that has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. The loving universe requires absolutely no risk from you today. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every single penny is returned to you immediately. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete divine trust. You have absolutely nothing to lose and a glorious kingdom to gain. The official link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. The tool is never the final destination. The tool simply restores the receiver so your beautiful destination can be instantly recognized when it finally arrives. God does not require you to exchange money to be loved or chosen. What was just described is simply one physical way the divine receiver is fully restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the eternal truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go much deeper into what is waiting for you. The heavy chains are permanently broken, and your pure spirit is soaring above the toxic clouds. The incredible power you hold inside your chest right now is capable of moving massive mountains. You have officially stepped completely out of the fatal trap. Your enemies are watching your glorious ascent with absolute terror in their eyes. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged to be understood by broken people. The severe crucible of pain has completely forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word being spoken. And the massive divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your new timeline because you have finally learned how to protect your sacred space. You are safe now. Your spirit is totally free. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the path remains completely open in the description and pinned comment. That is the absolute last time it will be mentioned. What follows right now belongs entirely to your ultimate ceiling. You must prepare your physical body to lock this massive frequency into place permanently. The grand spiritual transformation is almost complete. God is handing you the keys to your entire future. The pitch-black darkness has officially retreated behind you today. The brilliant dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays directly onto your spiritual crown. You are standing at the absolute peak of your spiritual mountain, and the toxic people who desperately tried to pull you down are watching your glorious ascent from the dark valley below while they choke on their own bitter regrets. They simply cannot touch you anymore. Your silence after the brutal storm, hits completely different when you finally realize you were the storm all along. You became the beautiful weapon you were desperately trying to survive. Heaven took every single tear you cried and turned it into an impenetrable shield of pure white light. Your tired nervous system is no longer vibrating in a state of constant panic. You have found your profound center. You are officially breathing the rare air of absolute total victory today. Every heavy curse spoken against your bloodline has been completely shattered by your relentless daily endurance. Tonight you become the glorious break in your family tree that future generations will deeply thank you for. You bravely carried the incredibly heavy cross, so your precious children would never have to suffer the same dark fate. The universe is currently realigning massive global resources just to meet your specific daily needs. You do not have to chase anything ever again. A fully healed person no longer tolerates terrible confusion disguised as love. And you absolutely will never tolerate blatant disrespect disguised as brutal honesty again, because your spiritual boundaries are made of thick, solid steel now. Your quiet authority is completely absolute. You have officially graduated from the heavy school of deep spiritual warfare. The brutal lessons you learned in the dark valley are now your greatest physical assets. You can instantly read the true intentions of anyone who walks into your quiet room. The narcissists try to play their old manipulative games, but you see right through their cheap, fragile masks immediately. They hold absolutely no power here. They do not hate you for shining so brightly in the dark. They hate you because your pure light exposes all their hidden darkness. But their pathetic hatred is absolutely powerless against your new divine frequency. You are totally surrounded by an invincible army of angels who will aggressively strike down any obstacle placed in your beautiful path. You are heavily and eternally protected by the highest power. Take one final and incredibly deep breath to absorb this massive truth. You have survived the absolute worst tests they could possibly invent, and you emerged from the burning fire completely, totally unscathed. The grand deception is over. The beautiful era of your effortless physical manifestation begins right now, but you must actively claim it physically to make it completely real. The enemy desperately wants you to close this video without taking any physical action. They want you to leave this sacred portal completely unlocked so they can sneak back in tonight. Do not let them steal your massive blessing right at the glorious finish line. You must actively lock in this glorious frequency and create an absolute shield of ultimate spiritual protection. Do not hesitate for 1 second. God is actively watching your physical response in this exact second. You must literally prove that your hands are completely open to receive the massive generational wealth transfer. Type 111 down in the comments right now to seal this beautiful reality. Declare to the entire universe that you are finally completely ready to receive your glorious kingdom connection. Your voice commands the physical elements. Hitting that button is a physical act of absolute agreement with what God just spoke directly into your tired spirit. Do not let this massive divine moment pass you by today. Tap the like button like a sharp sword cutting through the heavy, toxic chains of your painful past. You are actively establishing a powerful divine energy receiving station for all your future incoming blessings. If this fiery message has reignited the powerful faith inside your tired soul, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. There is a pure soul out there bleeding in the dark of deep despair who desperately needs a guiding light today. Share this urgent message with them immediately to activate the heavy anointing and multiply your own beautiful spiritual blessing. You are their answered prayer. Sowing the sacred seed of profound hope today is mathematically multiplying the massive harvest for yourself tomorrow. You are a chosen warrior of absolute pure light. Walk boldly into your completely new timeline and never look back at the broken, toxic ruins of your past. The entire physical and spiritual universe is completely yours to command now. Seal your glorious fate right this very second.